So I get a lot of photographers asking me like how to make your couples feel like they're comfortable, how to like loosen them up and make sure they're ready to go for their shoot. So without further ado, I'm going to list 5 things that you can do to break the ice with your couples. So, number 1, it's really good to ask questions when you're on the shoot, because then they're not thinking about the camera that's in their face and the shutter that's happening when you click your camera, because the minute they hear that, they start to feel really anxious. And I've had a couple of other photographers tell me that this is a good thing to do. So I tested it out myself to see, well, were they kidding? Does this actually work? And guys, do it. It literally, they forget that they're in a shoot and it's perfect. So like some of the questions you could ask could be like about their family. It could be about, one of my friends always uses the like, if your fiance was an alcoholic beverage, what would he be? And like, you know, if they drink or whatever, awesome. It could be like, if he was a cheeseburger, what would be on his cheeseburger? Just like really silly things. But you can also do really good ones like, who has the crazier family, or who likes to cook dinner at night, who's most likely to binge watch a Netflix marathon or a Netflix show, what show are you going through together? That one is always a good one because usually they're always watching some type of show, whether it's like Game of Thrones or This Is Us, which is my personal favorite. Then they can totally just like nerd out with you, especially if you're watching the same series, and then instantly you have a connection, and bada boom, bada bing, you've got that connection and they feel 100 times more comfortable with you. It's crazy how it works, but trust me, it's so good. So, some questions you could ask: who has the crazier family? Who likes to cook dinner at night? What Netflix shows are you guys watching together? Who's most likely to binge watch a Netflix series? You could also ask, where is your favorite place to go to dinner? What is the most exciting place you guys have visited together? The list can go on and on and on, but literally just think of those questions, write them down, and memorize those questions and bring them to your shoot. I guarantee you it will loosen them up. The second thing is, and a lot of photographers are doing this now, so I'm sure this comes as no surprise if you're that type of photographer, but get them moving. Get them playing games with each other, get them running, get them jumping into each other's arms, get them dancing. Literally whatever you can do, do it. Movement is such a good way to literally get them like so loosened up, because they're not standing somewhere stiff holding one position, which is good for intimate shots if you want to do that. But I also highly recommend including movement in literally everything you can. Even if it is like a super intimate shot, have him like caress her face and play with her hair and, you know, like tangle his hands in her hair or rub her arm, like some type of movement that is involved, because if they're standing super stiff and still, they're gonna get awkward. And a really good like telltale sign of that is if their hands are like this. If they're super like flexed like this, you know they're nervous. So I always tell my couples like, okay, shake out your hands, just shake them out and relax. Okay, so I know that they're nervous if their hands are like this, and then I'll also tell them to shake it out, wiggle it out, like get them all loosened up literally by like wiggling. While this doesn't happen a lot, some couples are more nervous than others and they're not as ready to shoot as other couples. So the third thing to do is to literally hang out with them before you go out and shoot. If this is the first time you're meeting them, they really don't know who you are. And maybe you've had like a FaceTime meeting beforehand when like before they booked you, or maybe you had like actual coffee before as well. But I always recommend going and getting some type of like coffee or alcoholic beverage or food, because then you literally have time to sit down with them, talk to them more, get them full, and like full bellies equal happy people always. Don't get them like stuffed, but like food, you know, because people get hungry throughout the shoot. And then if you add coffee to the mix or like an alcoholic beverage, they're gonna be so loosened up. Coffee will make them super stimulated and like ready to go, and like an alcoholic beverage will like get them more in the mood, if you know what I mean. Like they'll be ready to totally love on their future spouse or their boyfriend or whoever it is. So I always recommend getting food, hanging out with them, and just getting to know them more. Even asking the questions that we talked about in number 1, getting them loosened up, learning about them, investing in them, because the more you invest in your couple, the more that they are gonna feel like they're known and that they're heard, and they're just gonna be literally so comfortable with you. So, the last one, number 4, I'm such a huge advocate of music. I feel like it sets the mood and it literally makes them feel like they're in a movie. A way to do this is to bring a little speaker with you. I actually use the JBL clip, which is that little small one, and it can like literally hook on to like your pants, like your belt buckle or whatever. And I love it because it's Bluetooth and it also has the little auxiliary cable. You can literally just plug it in your phone or connect it with Bluetooth, and you can play any playlist you want. So I'm gonna share with you the playlist I use because I feel like it's just such a good one, and it's worked so well for me, and why not share it, because we're all in this together. You can find the link to my Spotify playlist in the description below, and I highly recommend saving it. It's very acoustic, so if that's more your style, awesome. I also have a bridal party playlist, which I play with the bridal party when we're doing their shots. That one's really good to get them pumped. That's more like pop music, get them dancing, get them super energized. Yeah, playing music literally in any scenario, probably except for like the ceremony or the reception, is perfect. With family photos, sometimes I'll play like jazz music, like Sinatra, because grandparents love the 50s and Sinatra and Nat King Cole, and jazz, you just really can't go wrong with at a wedding, so let's be real. But with the bridal party, you can have more fun, and you can play like pop music and stuff to get them super excited. And then with your couple, either for your engagement or your romantics, which is your like one-on-one bridals, I play the Romantics playlist, again, link in the description below, and it's acoustic. It makes them feel like they're in a movie, especially if you're in like a super beautiful location. It's incredible because it just sets the mood and it makes them feel like they're in a movie. Half the time, my couples like forget I'm there and they just literally make out in front of my camera, and I have to be like, okay guys, or I'll just let it happen, honestly, because it's just such good photos. And lastly, the 5th way that you can break the ice is to take breaks. I know this sounds weird, but when you're in the middle of a shoot, sometimes your couple can get really exhausted and, you know, either they're laughing too hard or whatever it is, or they're just having a really good time, but they like need a breather. It's so good to take breaks, and I'm such like an advocate for that. I bring snacks with my couples because sometimes we'll hike out and we'll need like water and some food. So I bring that in like a little pack that I have, and then I will share it with my couple, and I'll ask, hey, you guys want like a granola bar or something? Let's take a break. Let's look at the scenery, take it all in, absorb it. That's really good and a really good way to get them moving again as soon as you're ready to go. It can be exhausting, especially if you're doing like an all-day shoot. Then your couple is literally in front of the camera the entire time, so you should take breaks. If you're like in transit and like you're driving somewhere else to like a different location, that's like a great opportunity to take a break, ask them more questions, get to know them more. So yeah, so to review, here's 5 ways that you can break the ice with your couple. Number 1, ask questions. Get them thinking and distracted about like having a camera in their face, and a good way to do that is like, who has the crazier family? What Netflix show are you guys watching together? Those are really good ones. Second, get them moving, get them playing games, see if she can like escape his arms, get them running, jumping into each other's arms, things like that. Where they're not stiff will definitely get them loosened up. Number 3, try and get coffee or some type of food beforehand so you can hang out, they can get to know you, and they have a full belly or they're stimulated on caffeine so they're ready to go out and shoot. Number 4, bring music with you. It just sets the mood entirely. It literally makes things feel like you're in a movie, and it's fantastic, and you should do it. Number 5, take breaks. That's really important, especially if you're doing like a 2+ hour shoot. You should have breaks somewhere in there. Bring snacks with you, bring water, everything that will make them feel comfortable. You just want to go above and beyond, serve your clients, be that extra, and literally make it the best experience for them. That's all I have for you guys today. Thanks so much for tuning in, and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more tips and tricks like this. I do plan on doing another video where we will actually go out with a couple and you can see some of those things in action. So stay tuned for that, and I'll definitely make sure to link back to this video so you can see everything broken down. But that's all I have for today. Thanks, and have a fantastic day. Also, I just got this new cactus from Target in the little decorative thing, and I love it. It's so good. My husband came home and he's like, "Is this real?" And like poked it, and I was like, "If that was real, that really would have hurt you." And he's like, "Oh no, this is real." He thought it was real, and it's actually just little like fluffs for the little pokies, so yeah, shows his intelligence. I'm just kidding. I love you, babe. Okay.